Did y'all know that they built a highway that was supposed to go from Miami, Florida to Montreal, Canada? If you didn't, don't worry. I did some digging. Let's get into it. Now, before I get too deep into this, all right, I got to explain something. In 1915, the Model T became really popular in America, and a lot of the roads really weren't set up for the Model T yet. Now, the important thing about these roads is if your roads look like this, you're not going to get a lot of people coming into your neighborhood, all right, which will hold up money. So things had to change. Now, at the time, there was already a highway called the Lincoln Highway that went from New York to California, but that was going from east to west. This highway needed to go from north to south. Now, I have to introduce you to this guy, okay? This is Carl Fisher, okay? Now, Carl here was inspired by the Lincoln Highway and said, look, let's put together a highway that'll go from Miami, Florida, all the way to Montreal, Canada, so we can serve surrounding areas. Now, the thing about this highway is that it wasn't funded by the government. A bunch of rich people got together and they had a meeting in Knoxville, okay? And they said, look, we're gonna build this, highway, and we're going to use our money, and we're going to get private investors, and we're going to make each one of the states that this highway go through pay a percentage of the roads. I got to say this before I move on, all right? Now, a lot of the work that was done here, like, the construction and the building and tearing stuff down, they pretty much got a lot of that work done for free because they used prisoners at the time to do all the work. Now, every state had to build their own road, all right? And when it came to your state, you can name it what you wanted to, but the whole name of this road, and this had to be on the stamp sign when it was in your state, it had to be Dixie Highway. Now, things were going great for this whole process of the Dixie Highway. They pretty much finished the whole thing, but it didn't go all the way to Montreal. It ended up in Michigan. But after about 10 to 12 years of them building on the Dixie Highway, something major happened, and it kind of shut this project down. Now, like I said, people built their road, and their road was built in their towns and neighborhoods. Dixie Highway was a thing, all right? But the government stepped in, because remember what I said, the government didn't have nothing to do with this, okay? But the government said, look, stop building this, okay? Stop. We're about to build our own U.S. highway, and this is going to be obsolete. We're not even going to need this anymore. So the government came in and took over the Dixie Highway project because they used some of the routes for US 1, which I feel like is a cheap shot. I kind of feel like they just let them build this whole thing, and it was like, all right, y'all, this is good enough. We can take it from here. And then they just added on they just added on a whole nother number to just put up US 1. I need to look more into that. Now, the road Dixie Highway is still here till today, all right? And even though it might be another road, okay, if you look at the beginning of that road, where that road begins and ends, there should be a little sign, all right, that says DH with a red bar on top and a red bar on bottom, stands for Dixie Highway. That means that this road at one point in time was Dixie Highway. Now, this sign right here, this is the crossway point in between Lincoln Highway and the Dixie Highway, okay? This is in Indiana. So if you're in this area, all right, let us know if you've been here. Is it just this sign, or is it like stuff you can do, or is it like a tourist attraction or something? Because if it is, that'd be pretty cool. All right, y'all know how we do. Go to the headlines real quick, all right? I just need y'all to follow along, all right? So the original Dixie Highway Association existed from 1915 to 1927, all right? For all intents and purposes, the Dixie Highway and other named routes were replaced by the U.S. highway system, which came into being in November of 1926. They just stole it. Now, here in Florida, there's places where you can still see a piece of it where it's been untouched, okay? They didn't make a road out of it, or the US 1 didn't take it over, all right? So here's one of them in this location here. It's about, I think they said it was about 110 miles of stretch of road that's still there. And I want to show y'all something real quick. Now look, if you along the East Coast, all right, all the way up to St. Augustine, Jacksonville area, right, there's places that still look like this. The road is untouched, all right? So in St. Augustine, they say there's a piece of it downtown St. Augustine, all right? They say it's a piece in Ocala that you can still find that looks like this. And that 110-mile stretch that they left untouched is still there. You can visit it, all kind of stuff. But I believe they say it's barricaded up. You could walk down it. They say don't drive down it because there's nowhere that you could turn around unless you make like a weird three-point turn. But who wants to do that, right? Could be alligators and stuff like that. Just be safe, okay? I just felt like I needed to tell y'all that. But the more you know, peace.